We'll go ahead and get started. Go ahead and start in a tall seat, please. Hands resting onto your knees or onto your legs. And spine stacked tall, lifting up through the crown of the head. And breathing down into the navel. Let the navel expand forwards. Expand the rib cage wide. Exploring your breath as it is right now, in this moment. And allow the breath to become a little more slow, a little more soft. Less effort with the breath, even though we have that tendency to want to, and it's always suggested to lengthen the duration of the breath. But do this by slowing down, not gasping after more breath. Let it still be with an aspect of ease. If you'd like to, set an intention for your practice, please. Continuing to observe the breath, maybe this idea of presence throughout our practice, this idea of calm, of peace, the idea of movement, waking up, of joy, whatever resonates most with you. Considering how you can take this intention with you to inspire how you take your practice. And bowing your head to your chest to seal in your intention. Blink the eyes open, take the head up. We'll start in our seat here still. Take the hands down on either side of the hips. As you inhale, raise the arms up overhead. Chest lifts, hands high. As you exhale, release the arms wide back down around the hips. Inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, release the arms wide. Inhale to raise up. Exhale wide. Keep the left hand to the floor. Inhale to take the right arm up toward the ceiling. Slide the left arm away and reach right arm up and over. Side curve. Switch. Inhale, lift up. Slide the right arm away. Exhale, left arm up and over. Inhale, raise up one more time each side. Exhale, right arm reaches. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, left arm reaches. Inhale the arms back up overhead, interlace the fingers, turn the palms up toward the ceiling. Take the hands away from heart center, exhale rounding, hug the navel back. Inhale, lift the palms, lift the hands. Arms all the way wide, interlace hands behind the back. Open the chest and the shoulders. Exhale, fold over crossed shins as we begin to raise the hands. Inhale to sit up, raise the arms up overhead. And release the arms all the way wide. Same again, maybe interlace the fingers the awkward way, opposite grip. Inhale to lift, interlace the fingers, palms up. Hands round away from heart center. Exhale, hug the navel back. Inhale, raise up. Maybe same awkward grip, arms wide, interlace behind the back, open the chest and the shoulders. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to sit up, raise the arms up overhead. And exhale, the arms wide, landing at the hips. We'll shift forwards, make your way onto hands and knees, please. As you inhale, lift the chest to cow pose, shoulder blades pull back, bring the emphasis of the back bend into the chest. As you exhale, rounding, hug the navel up and under, emphasis of the round into the lower spine with strength. Inhale back to cow pose, chest lifts. Child's pose, hips back toward heels. Hands walk over to the left side of the mat, curve long through whole right side from right hip to right hand. Breathing into right rib cage, down through the side and right arm. Hands walk over to the right, curve long through the whole left side of the body. Left hip to left hand, expanding into whole left side body. Hands back to the center, back to child's pose. Inhale forwards to cow pose. Lift the chest, shoulder blades back. Cat pose. Exhale round. Hug the navel up and under. Inhale back to cow pose. Tuck the toes, back to down dog. Pedaling the feet or find stillness. If you'd like, we can shorten the stance, stepping the feet forwards. Choosing whichever option supports your intention best, whether that is more movement, more stillness, more observation. And pressing back evenly through both hips and both heels. Knees back to the floor. Inhale, lift the chest. Cow pose, heart forwards. We'll move straight back to child's pose. Hips back toward heels. Stand on the knees and the shins. Inhale, raise all the way up, hands overhead. Take the elbows wide. Exhale, navel stays strong. Goalpost back bend. Open the chest. Inhale, raise the arms back up. Exhale, arms forwards. Child's pose. Inhale, forwards to cow. Straight back to down dog. Navel lifts up and back. Inhale, right leg back to three-legged dog. Exhale, release back to down dog. Left leg, inhale, extend back. Exhale, release. Knees to the floor, back to cow pose, lift the chest. Child's pose, hips back. Stand on the knees and the shins. Inhale, raise all the way up, hands high. Elbows wide, pull back. Exhale, goalpost arms. Inhale to raise up. Arms forwards, child's pose. Forwards to cow. Down dog, stay to breathe here this time. On your inhale, extend right leg back to three-legged dog. Exhale, round the knee toward the nose. Hug the navel up and under. Inhale, back up, three legs. And down dog, release to the floor. Left leg, inhale, extend back, three-legged dog. Exhale, round, knee toward the nose. Inhale, back up, three legs. Down dog, release. Inhale, plank or a kneeling plank. Stay to breathe here. Bottom points of the shoulder blades instead of flaring outwards. Draw toward the spine and into the back. Navel hugging up away from the floor. And exhale, lower all the way down. Slide the hands back so the thumbs are around the lowest ribs. 3 times as you inhale, curl up, strength back between the shoulder blades along the spine. Exhale, release forwards. 2 more. Inhale, curl up, strong through our upper back bend. Exhale, release forwards. Inhale, curl up. Exhale, release hands around rib cage, move back to down dog. We can adjust our stance if you need to ever between plank and down dog. They may require a different length of stance. After your exhale, walk, step, or hop the feet forwards. Come into a half lift at the top of your mat. Shoulders back, heart lifts. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, raise all the way up, hands overhead. Hands to heart center. Inhale, arms up overhead, interlace last 3 fingers, pointers up. Point up and over to the left, curve long through right side, from right foot to right hand. Navel stays strong, hugging back so we're not back bending. Inhale, point back up. Exhale, point up and over to the right, curve left side long. Inhale, point all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Fold, plant the hands, step left leg back, runner's lunge. Left hand stays. Inhale, right arm up, revolved, runner's lunge. 3 times. As you exhale, reach the right arm forwards alongside right cheek or right ear. Inhale, lift the right arm back up over right shoulder. Exhale, reach forwards. Inhale, lift up. Adding purpose to breath with our movement, once more forwards. Inhale, lift up. Release the right hand outside right foot. Inhale, right leg back to three-legged dog. Take right knee to right elbow. Exhale, out to the side. Shift shoulders and chest forwards. Inhale, back up, 3 legs. Down dog, release. Plank or kneeling plank. Exhale, lower. Take your preferred vinyasa, lowering into your back bend. Low cobra again, or up dog if you choose. And move back to down dog. After your exhale, walk, step, or hop forwards, half lift back to the top. Exhale, fold. Raise all the way up, hands overhead. Hands to heart center. Inhale, arms raise. Forward fold. Half lift. Fold, plant the hands, step your right leg back, runner's lunge. Right hand stays. Inhale, take the left arm up, revolved runner's lunge. Again, 3 times. As you exhale, reach the left arm forwards alongside left ear or cheekbone. Inhale, lift back up. Palm in the same direction your eyes are facing. Exhale, reach forwards. Inhale, lift up. Exhale once more, elongate forwards. Inhale, raise left arm. Release the left hand back to the floor. Left leg back to 3-legged dog. Left knee to left elbow, same side. Exhale, hug in. Inhale, raise up. Down dog, release. Plank or kneeling plank. Vinyasa of your choice, your back bend. And back to down dog. Walk, step, or hop forwards, half lift at the top. Exhale, fold. Raise up, hands overhead. Hands to heart center. Shift the weight into the left foot, left leg. Bend the right knee up toward the height of the hip. 3 times, again, lots of 3s for this practice. Tap the right big toe back and lean the torso forward slightly. So we're shifting weight into the front of the left foot. Inhale, bend the right knee up toward the height of the hip. Exhale, tap back. Inhale, bend up. Exhale, tap back. Float up once more. Cross right ankle over left thigh, sitting back to our figure 4 chair. Breathing as though we are still moving with the arms or still moving with the leg. There's purpose and rhythm to the breath, even if we're still. Inhale, lift up, right knee floats, and release the right foot back to the floor. Switching sides, weight into the right leg. Bend the left knee up toward the height of the hip. Tap the left toe back behind. Inhale, float the left knee up. Exhale, tap behind. Inhale, float up. And tap back. Float up to stay. Left ankle over right thigh, sitting back, figure 4 chair. Standing up, float the left knee. Release the left foot back to the floor. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, fold, plant the hands from here. Step your left leg back, runner's lunge again. Set the left knee to the floor and continue to lunge right knee forward over the toes. So warming up from our standing, lifting the knee and tapping the toe back. We're holding relatively that same shape as we stretch here. Move the hips back, begin to straighten right knee as you fold over right leg for kneeling pyramid pose. And bend back into the right knee. Hands land, straighten the left knee off the floor. From here, we'll step back to side plank. Step the right foot back. Tip the heels to the left and raise your right arm. So shoulder stack, right arm is lifted. Pressing down into the floor with the feet to lift the hips. We can step right foot forwards. We can set the left knee down. And 3 times exhale, reach the right arm forwards like we did in revolved runner's lunge. Inhale, lift right arm. Exhale, reach forwards. Inhale, lift. Exhale, reach forwards. Inhale up. Release to plank or kneeling plank. Vinyasa of your choice. Your back bend. And back to down dog. After exhale, walk, step, or hop forwards, half lift back at the top. Exhale, fold. Raise all the way up, hands overhead. Hands to heart center. Inhale, raise the arms. Forward fold, plant the hands. Step your right leg back, runner's lunge. And set the right knee down for kneeling lunge. Continue to let left knee start to bend forwards over the toes, stretching into the front of right hip. Maybe we feel it into the abdomen or into right quad. And move the hips back, coming into kneeling pyramid, folding over left leg as left knee begins to straighten. And bend back into the left knee. Hands land around left foot, straighten right knee off the floor. Step the left foot back, come into plank. Tip the heels to the right and lift the left arm. Raising high for our side plank, right knee can set down, left foot could step forwards. As you exhale 3 times, reach the left arm forwards alongside the ear. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, reach forwards. Inhale, raise. Exhale, reach forwards. Lifting back up. Plank or kneeling plank. Exhale, vinyasa of your choice. And back to down dog. Bringing the knees down onto the floor, come into tabletop, please. As you inhale, take the left arm up toward the ceiling, twisting through the upper spine, opening left chest, left shoulder, hand high. Exhale, release left hand back to the floor. Same right arm, inhale, lifts up, open the chest and the shoulder. Exhale, release. Inhale, raise the left arm back up. This time, slide left arm under right shoulder, setting down for thread the needle. We can take right arm out in front of you, pressing the right palm into the floor to add a bit of a stretch through the lateral side of the trunk, maybe into the shoulder. If you'd prefer, we can leave the right hand into the floor in front of the chest to help twist open. And take the right hand back below right chest or shoulder. Inhale the left arm all the way up. Open the chest, open the arm high. Release back to tabletop. Other side, thread the needle. Right arm, inhale, lift up. Lower spine stays stable. Exhale, thread right arm under left shoulder. Right cheek or temple could set down, sliding the left arm in front of you, pressing the palm to the floor to feel it through outside of left arm. Maybe left rib cage, or take the hand below the chest to twist. And plant the left hand back below the chest again. Inhale, right arm all the way up to the ceiling. Stack the shoulders, open the chest. And release back to tabletop. Tuck the toes, hover the knees an inch or two off the floor. Try to keep the shoulder blades into the back if you feel like we're really rounding and flaring. Hug them in, and then lift again. Check in before we create that lift. Hips up, back to down dog. On your inhale, take the right leg back to three-legged dog. Exhale, step forwards, crescent lunge. Inhale to stand up, raise the chest, raise the navel away from the right thigh. Like our kneeling lunge, take the elbows wide. Exhale, open the chest. Inhale, raise the arms, hands to heart center. Twist left elbow on or toward right thigh. Draw the heels of the hands down and press the left elbow into the leg to start to lift the chest up toward the thumbs. Legs strong. Inhale, heart forward. Stand back up, crescent lunge. Ground the left heel, open hips and chest down into warrior two. On your inhale, reach back, reverse warrior. Right knee stays bent as right arm reaches high. Stack the spine back to warrior two. Inhale, reach back, reverse. Stack the spine, warrior two. Straightening your right knee, coming into triangle pose. As you exhale, reach the right arm forward, taking the hand to shin, ankle, block, or floor. Left arm lifted, left ribs hugging in. And as we have been doing, we'll take our lateral variation. Reach the left arm forwards, palms spinning toward the floor, maybe starting to spin in the direction behind you. Long, strong line from left hip to left hand, not just hanging out onto the head, but active through left side. Bend into the right knee. Inhale, reverse warrior. Right arm up, right rib cage open. And exhale, spiral the hands down around right foot. Runner's lunge. Revolved runner's lunge. Right arm lifts. And coming into side plank. If you'd like to this way, step the right foot back or come in the same way we did before. Plank first, then open the right arm for side plank. We'll stay this time. Release to plank or kneeling plank. This time lower all the way down to the ground, landing for locust pose. Hands back around the hips, pulling the front of the shoulders away from the floor, shoulder blades into the back as you lift the chest. Float the arms, float the legs, our strong, active back bend. And release, hands around rib cage, move back to down dog. Inhale, extend left leg back, three-legged dog. Exhale, step forwards to crescent lunge. Inhale, stand up. Elbows wide, goalpost back bend. Exhale, lean back from the left thigh. Inhale to raise up. Hands to heart center, twisting right elbow on or toward left thigh, standing into the legs. Draw the heels of the hands back toward heart center and press right elbow into the leg to bring the chest up, sternum up toward the thumbs. Legs strong. Inhale, stand back up, crescent lunge, arms high. Ground the right heel, open the hips, open the chest to warrior two. Inhale, reach back, reverse warrior. Stack the spine, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Warrior two, exhale. Straightening the left knee, coming into triangle pose. Reach the left arm forwards, taking it to shin, ankle, or floor. Right arm lifting up over both shoulders. And in lining with our theme, reach the right arm forwards, coming into extended triangle. Active here, not just letting the arm hang out, but strong from right hip to right fingertips. Bending back into the left knee, leg strong, reverse warrior, left arm up, and spiral the hands down around left foot, runner's lunge. Revolved runner's lunge, lift the left arm high, and making your way back to side plank, however you'd like to get there, as we did previously, or step the left foot straight back. Release back to plank or kneeling plank. Lower all the way down, landing for shoulder roll. Take the right arm out to the side, straight out, or goalpost shape. Roll onto right hip, right side body. Left knee can turn up toward the ceiling. If that is too much, keep the knees bent in front of you. Left arm can reach back behind or stay pressed to the floor in front of the chest. Roll back onto the chest, switch sides. Left arm out, straight out our goal post. Rolling onto left side, right limbs can reach back or stay. Roll back onto the chest, hands around the rib cage. Coming into a wide leg child's pose. Press up onto hands and knees. Walk the knees wider than hips and rib cage. Release the chest on or between the legs. Forehead can land, arms reaching forwards. If this is uncomfortable in the shoulders, if it's a bit too much still, rest the head onto the hands or the stacked forearms. Rebuild back up onto hands and knees. Tuck the toes back to down dog. Walk, step, or hop forwards. Come back up to the top of the mat. Half lift. Forward fold. Raise all the way up. Hands overhead. Hands to heart center. We'll go in reverse from before. So we're going to take full warrior 3 first, taking our taps, and then crossing the right ankle over the top of left thigh. Hands to heart, shift your weight into the left leg. Bend the right knee up toward the height of the hip. Extend the right leg back, either tapping or coming fully into warrior 3. Right leg lifts only as much as the chest lowers. Inhale, bend the right knee back up toward the height of the hip. Exhale, press the foot back, navel scoops in as we fold the chest forwards. Inhale, lift up, bend the right knee up. Exhale, warrior 3. We'll stay here for 4 to 5 breaths. On your inhale, bend the right knee back up toward the height of right hip. And cross right ankle over the top of left thigh, figure 4 chair. Standing up, float the right knee back up toward the height of the hip and release right foot back to the floor. Shifting your weight into right leg. Bend the left knee up toward the height of the hip. 3 times, slowly take the chest forwards, left foot straight back behind toward warrior 3. Inhale, bend left knee up toward the height of the hip. Exhale, straighten toward warrior 3. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, come into stay, breathing. And float the left knee back up toward the height of the hip. Cross left ankle over right thigh. Sitting back to figure 4 chair. Standing up, float the left knee. And release the left foot back to the floor. From here, take the heels a little wider than the hips for our yogi squat, malasana. Inhale the arms up overhead. Press the knees wide out over the toes. Take the elbows on or inside the knees, pressing the heels of the hands down, lifting through the chest as knees continue to move wide. Pressing the right hand down into the floor if it's comfortable to do so. Keep the knees pressing wide so they don't collapse in as soon as you stop helping with the arms. Inhale the left arm up toward the ceiling. Right knee stays wide with the help of the arm. Left leg stays wide on its own. And release the left hand to the floor. Knees stay wide, lift the right arm, breathing here, twisting into Armalasana. And release the right hand back to the floor. Take the hands back to the center, noting how close the hips are to the ground. We'll sit back into boat pose if that's accessible. If it's not, if you're concerned about your tailbone, tip forward to hands and knees first, and then come back to boat. Every inhale, lifting the chest. To make it harder, we can move the chest away from the legs, or to make it a little easier, move them closer. And tip forward, soles of the feet together for diamond pose. Sitting tall, hands to the ankles or the shins to lift up and out of the lower spine. And begin to fold forwards, hands to the feet, the toes, or maybe past. And sitting up, we'll slide the hips back a little bit so we have room to extend left leg out the front of the mat. We'll bring the right foot inside left thigh. Now, if you're on a hard floor, we might want to shift the whole body to the left. We're going to come into our kneeling wild thing. So at some point here in the near future, we're going to land the left arch and we're going to land the right knee and right shin. So let it be on something soft. Inhale the arms up overhead, folding head to knee pose, reaching the arms, the chest out in front. Arms could land around the knee or maybe all the way to the foot. And walk the hands back up the left leg. Plant the right hand behind right hip. We'll stand up onto the right knee and shin and ground through left arch in the sole of the foot. Inhale, lift up onto these standing spaces. Reach the left arm up and behind your head almost, coming into that same expression we had in triangle, in revolved lunge, and side plank, reaching long from left foot to left hand. Exhale, sit back to the floor. Point the right knee up toward the ceiling. And cross the right foot to the outside of the left thigh. So you may need to shift the hips if the right hip feels really far back. We can move it forwards. Right foot to outside of left thigh. Inhale, left arm up. Twist the elbow or hand across right knee and plant the right hand behind the back again to open the chest. And spin back around to face the front. Guide the right knee toward the floor. Slide the left foot back toward left hip, sitting up into a seated figure four. We've done our standing figure four twice on each side now. And switch. Straighten the left leg out in front. Now we're going to switch since we did that series on the other side. We'll move the hips to the right so that the left knee and shin will have a cushion. Take the left foot inside right thigh. Head to knee pose. Inhale, the arms lift up overhead. Hinge at the hips, fold the navel forward, chest forwards, hands landing anywhere between the knee and the foot. Trying to resist the urge to grab and pull, knowing that any tension in the hands may start to creep up into tension in the shoulders and the neck and the jaw. And walk the hands back up the right leg. Plant the left hand behind left hip. So we're standing into the left shin and the left knee, grounding right arch in the sole of the foot. Inhale, sweep the right arm alongside the ear like we had been in our triangle pose, in our revolved lunge. Press the right foot into the ground. Extend right hip crease forwards. And release back to a seat. Point the left knee up toward the ceiling and take the left foot to the outside of your right thigh. Again, we may need to shift the left hip forwards to make that cross. Inhale the right arm up overhead. Twist the elbow or hand across left knee. Plant the left hand behind you to help sit tall. Lift the chest. We can keep the head directly to the left or perhaps start to look back behind left shoulder. This creates tension in the eyes or the neck. Just stay straight to the left side. And untwist, release the hands behind you and guide the left knee toward the floor. Slide the right foot back toward right hip and lift the chest up toward left calf, coming into our seated figure 4 on this side. And release. We'll bend the elbows to lift the chest out of the pose. Plant the left foot to the floor. Slide yourself back to the middle of the mat if we were off to one side for that knee cushion. And slowly start to curl your way down onto your back. We're not quite done yet. We're actually going to come back up to standing. And hug the knees into the chest. All right, I know we've done this a couple times in the Wednesday level 2 class, but we're going to go ahead and give it a shot. Everyone's at their own home. So if we look like a fool doing it, it's okay. No one's there to see you except maybe your pet or your child. So it's okay. We're going to rock head to tailbone a couple times. Do you see where this is going? Maybe, maybe not. You can hate me later. Feeling where the feet press into the floor, start to think of standing. Even lift the hips off the ground and think about what it would be like to stand up and straighten the legs. If the arms are out in front of you, that's going to help. Stand up chair when you're ready. And if we didn't make it, it's okay. No one knows. Hands back to heart center. Inhale, stand all the way up, hands overhead. And hands to heart at standing. Shift your weight into the left leg. Bend right knee up toward the height of the hip. And come back into our warrior 3. I'm going to run into my wall here. Pardon me. Now, thinking of where the right toes and ball of foot would land for crescent lunge, step them back. Inhale the arms up overhead. Hands to heart center as we did before. Twist right elbow on or toward your left thigh. Press the left foot down. Lift the right hip slightly so we're twisting into the upper spine and not just dropping through the hips. Inhale, raise the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold, hands down around left foot. We'll come into pyramid pose. Ground the right heel at about 45 degrees at the back of your mat. Start to straighten left knee as we fold. Walk the hands back, folding over left leg to pyramid. Exploring coming into triangle from the floor. Come into a half lift here. We may need to lengthen the stance a little bit. Take the left hand inside left foot or maybe left ankle. We can come up onto fingertips or we can come to a block. Taking right hand to right hip, begin to open the hips. So we're going from closed hip to open hips. This can feel really strange sometimes. So if you really hate it, go ahead and come into triangle from the top. Know that this is just a different way to come in. We might create or might find a different point of resistance, and that's okay, even if it's a little unfamiliar. And close the right hip back toward the floor. Let the hands land. Bend into the left knee. Stand up into a half warrior 3. Shorten the stance a little so we can really stand into the left leg instead of jump. Lifting through inside seam of right leg. Foot flex toward the back of the mat. And release the right foot, forward fold at the top. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, fold. Raise all the way up, hands overhead. And hands to heart center. All right, shift your weight into the right foot, right leg. Bend the left knee up toward the height of the hip. And extend left leg back, torso forward, warrior 3. Land the left toes and ball the foot back to crescent lunge. Inhale the arms up overhead. And hands back to heart, folding, twisting. Left elbow onto right thigh. Draw the heels of the hands back, elbows wide as we turn through right shoulder. Legs strong. Inhale, stand up, hands up overhead. Exhale, fold around right leg. Step the left foot forwards, ground the left heel to the floor, and fold to pyramid pose, beginning to straighten the right knee as we fold over right leg. Now, coming into triangle from the floor. So again, we might want to lengthen the stance. Step the left foot back a little bit. We'll take the right hand to the inside of your right foot or right ankle. We can always adjust where that left heel, back heel lands, beginning to open the hips from their closed position. Close hips looking toward the mat to open hips looking toward the left side. We can take a left arm up to the ceiling, or maybe we keep it to the left hip for this variation. And close the hips, release the left hand back to the floor, come off the left heel, take fingertips forward, stand up into half warrior three, left leg straight back behind. And release the left foot, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step back to plank or kneeling plank. Exhale, lower all the way down, locust pose again, hands back around the hips. Hover chest, arms and legs, shoulder blades pull back. And hands around the rib cage, move back to down dog. Last bit here before Shavasana, coming into pigeon pose if that is a comfortable option for you today. If it is not, we can take figure four in a seat like we did previously, or on your back. Inhale to take a left leg back to three-legged dog. Bring the left knee toward left tricep, shin toward parallel with the front of the mat, and walk the right leg back behind. Staying tall up onto the hands, or if you'd like, lower down to the elbows. Chest toward the floor, folding a bit instead. And rebuild back up onto the hands. Walk right knee, right toes forward. We'll step straight back to down dog. Other side. Inhale, right leg back, three legs. Bring the right knee, right shin forwards, walking the left leg back to pigeon pose. Staying up onto the hands or lowering down to elbows and forearms. And rebuild, come back up onto the hands, walk left knee, left toes forwards, and step back to down dog. Bringing the knees down onto the floor, sit the hips back and swing the legs out in front, coming back through boat pose to reach down onto the floor. Tuck the hands behind the knees or reach the hands forwards, past them. Slowly curl your way down onto the spine, down on the shoulders, on the head, hugging knees into the chest. Taking the arms wide out to the sides, coming into a reclined twist. Knees released to the right, Right arm can help anchor the legs, turning the head to the left. Breathing into left side, into left hip. And pressing the right arm into the ground, take the knees back up and release the knees to the left, turning the head to the right. Left arm can help anchor the legs. And press the left arm into the ground, take the knees back up. Hug the knees into the chest, ending with any of your preferred symmetrical shapes, ending your practice as you'd like. When you're ready, release to your preferred shape for Shavasana. Taking your time and your way to get there, I will come to a seat, but you are welcome to release on to your back. Finding your resting space, legs can be long down the length of the mat or bend the knees to the ceiling and let them knock in. Feeling where the back of the body lands to the floor, every exhale softening back, releasing shoulders, arms, trunk of the body and the legs. There's a fair amount of movement through our practice, maybe slightly foreign movement with our triangle from the floor and rocking up to our chair. Notice how you feel now compared to the beginning of your practice without judgment, just being aware of any energy shift, hopefully a change in the physical, feeling a little more comfortable, a little more stable and at peace with our current moment. And please take your awareness to the breath moving in and out of your nose. As you inhale, feel the breath move up each side of the nose up toward the point between the eyes. And as you exhale, release the breath back down both sides of the nose and a few inches past. Inhales up toward third eye, space between the eyebrows. And as you exhale, release the breath back down both sides. Continuing with this breath awareness at this space. Now, please take these two streams of breath and bring them to third eye, space between the eyebrows. As you inhale, feel a single line of breath move forward in front of the forehead. As you exhale, draw the breath back toward the forehead and just behind, toward midbrain. Inhale, breath moves forward in a single line in front of the forehead. And as you exhale, draw the breath back behind the forehead toward midbrain. Single line of breath and awareness at this space. Returning to the intention you had set at the beginning of your practice, repeating it several times in the mind, feeling it as you rest. How would this intention feel or look through whole body, in your mind, and your movements off of your mat, and your interactions or your relationships? And begin to expand the breath back out into the trunk of the body, into the shoulders, the hips, into the arms and legs and the hands and feet. Gently expanding the breath outwards toward fingers and toes. Begin to move the fingers and the toes. Bend the ankles and the wrists. Let the head rock from side to side. Bend the elbows. Walk the feet back to hug the knees into the chest, giving the legs a squeeze. Be aware of anything on either side of you. And roll onto one side, resting onto this side, curled up. Bottom arm could make a pillow underneath the head. And press your hands into the floor, coming up to a tall seat. Spine tall, once again finding the breath in and out of the nose. Returning to your intention, taking it with you, past the end of our practice here at this moment, into the rest of your night, into your weekend, coming back to any of these tools, any movements, any awareness or focus of breath, and especially intention. Bring the palms of the hands together at heart center, bowing your head to your chest, acknowledging your breath, your peace, and all that you are. Namaste. Hi guys, thanks for practicing with me today. If you'd like to see more videos, if you'd perhaps like to see more of Miko's arm being shoved under the door, I'll link a couple right here. I'll link my page. I'll link the most recent series or video. And subscribe if you'd like to let yourself know when I put out a new video. What do you think, Miko? Do you think that's a good idea? I think that's a good idea.